Mateo was 7 years old. He lived in one of the outer neighborhoods of Rosario in a single-room house with a leaky roof and nailed-together walls. His father had left. His mother was sick. Some nights there was no food, some mornings no light. But inside Mateo burned a small flame of hope. An old, worn-out poster of Lionel Messi. The colors were faded, the edges torn from being folded too many times. But when Mateo pressed it against his chest, he felt like the strongest person in the world. Because Messi wasn't just a footballer to him, he was a possibility. A quiet proof that what seemed impossible in Mateo's world might just be real somewhere else. One day, a teacher at school said they could write letters to their favorite football players for a charity event. Mateo's hands shook. He picked up the pen and wrote more than he'd ever said out loud. He poured everything into that paper. Dear Messi, my name is Mateo. You probably won't ever read this, but I think about you every day. If it's possible, could you send me one of your jerseys? Because when I imagine you, I forget my mother's pain for a while. He sealed the envelope, gave it to the volunteer, and walked home full of dreams. Weeks passed, then months, but the mailbox stayed silent, and shortly after, his mother passed away. Mateo didn't cry. He couldn't. It was as if the last sound of his childhood vanished with that letter. Years passed. The dreamy child became a quiet young man working at construction sites. Up before dawn, home after dark. But one day, while sorting through old notebooks, he found a carbon copy of that letter. His eyes filled with tears, and something inside him cracked open again, but not in despair, in purpose. Around the same time, he read an article online. It was about a hospital in Buenos Aires where a jersey, sent years ago by Messi through a charity, had changed hands between sick children. One child wore it through chemotherapy and survived. Another had lost her entire family in an earthquake but found comfort in it. A third, growing up in a refugee camp, wore it and smiled for the first time. Mateo realized something. Maybe his letter had been answered after all. Maybe the jersey hadn't reached him, but it had reached the ones who needed it more. That night, he made a decision. The old jersey had already done its part, but a new path could begin. He began collecting worn-out football jerseys from second-hand markets. He opened a small workshop, learned how to sew. Every night until morning, he patched up torn fabric, stitched hope into the seams. He started sending those jerseys one by one to children in shelters, hospitals, and forgotten places. No name, no sender. Just a note tucked into each package. This jersey is yours. Who you are doesn't matter, but who you could become, never forget that. Because once I was just a boy waiting for an answer too. Soon, letters began to return, children writing back. I felt invisible until I wore this. This jersey made me feel strong. One day, I want to do what you did for me. Mateo didn't respond to any of them, because he already had his answer. Every jersey sent was a thread stitched into the heart of his younger self. A journalist heard his story, wrote an article. The boy who once wrote Messi a letter is now sending hope to hundreds of children. It spread like wildfire. Millions read it. And then one day, a small package arrived at Mateo's door. No return address. Inside, a jersey, signed by Messi himself, and a short handwritten note. Years ago, I missed a letter, but you built a life from it. You became the answer. Thank you. Mateo sat with it for hours. He didn't move, he didn't need to. The tears that fell weren't from sorrow. They were something else now. Gratitude, peace, completion. Within a year, his little workshop had turned into a quiet foundation. Still no name, still no fame. But every month, more jerseys arrived in the arms of children who needed them. A boy wrote, "When I wear this, it feels like I'm wrapped in something magic. No one sees me as small anymore." Another wrote, "I gave the jersey to my brother after a fight. We made peace. Is this jersey enchanted?" Mateo read them all. He didn't reply. He didn't need to. He never met Messi, no photos, no videos. But somehow those two people became the most invisible, unshakable part of each other's story. Because a letter doesn't have to arrive to leave a mark. A jersey doesn't have to be worn to heal. And sometimes by choosing to be someone else's hope, you find your own answer.